So this is an old video that you're going to watch. I started filming in November 2023 and it took me a year to post. So these are all archived clips. Some of my thoughts might have changed, some might stay the same, but I'd like to post them because it's part of the journey and it's important to me, and they matter to me. And it shows the journey and shows different thoughts I was going through compared to now, I guess. But yeah, enjoy the video. Peace. It's a Friday. We've had our steak for breakfast. Got some eggs and sausages for lunch. Jobs are good. Yeah. This morning, sort of woke up and had these thoughts from a dream, I guess. Looking at sort of my life now and thinking, in a pretty good place, pretty perfect place, I must admit. And then I think back to all those moments, that them sort of pinnacle moments, or what you thought would be pinnacle moments in your life, where you sort of failed or things didn't go your way. High school, you didn't get the grades you wanted. You didn't get full marks on all your tests and get perfect grades. You didn't get what else? Didn't become a professional footballer. Um, didn't get perfect grades in college. What else? Didn't get that primary school girlfriend that when you was a little kid you really wanted. Didn't get those presents. Maybe those, the really expensive presents that are unrealistic. When you was, there was a time in my life when I was debating, because I was what's called a steeplejack once. I was debating leaving that job and doing what I do now. If I didn't ever leave that job, these sort of, like I said, pinnacle moments in life where you're stuck between two decisions. Do I do this? Do I do that? And I was just wondering, what would life look like if everything went the way I wanted it to go? I got all A stars in all my GCSEs in college. I became I became a professional footballer. You know, I, the first girl you ever fancy, she's then the the um, the love of your life for the rest of your life. Um, you have a completely perfect, no issues childhood. Your parents give you everything you want. You don't actually overcome any hurdles. And I look at that life and I look at that person, who that person would create. Don't fancy it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't fancy it. Whereas the person I am today and who I am now, with all my flaws and sort of those trauma memories, it's a bit intense calling them traumas. They're not, not that intense. Wanting to become a professional footballer and then failing at that, that sticks on your mind. That's going to impact you, especially when you're younger. Um, which it has impacted me, but it's impacted me in a way where I absolutely love. It's created who I am. And like I said, if I imagine that person that got everything that he wanted, even when he was a younger kid, something as simple as that first ever girlfriend that you get in primary school, which is obviously I know it's a ridiculous state, but ridiculous thing to think. I don't have any emotion attached to that now, obviously, but Imagine if that happened, I wouldn't meet the girlfriend that I have today, and I wouldn't feel the love that I have today. And I wouldn't be with this such amazing person I'm with today, and my life wouldn't be looking as it's looking right now. And for me, I'm using that. I'm using the comparison to if everything went perfectly, to if everything went how it's gone. And looking at the two different characters it creates. This is what makes this. These are the sort of things on a daily basis, the small things that I'm thinking about. That when something doesn't go your way, I look at it and, people have told me, I'm not emotional. I don't care when something important don't go my way. And it's like, I know I do care, but I just realised that whatever's going to be happening is going to happen for the better. Just because you don't get what you want doesn't mean it's a bad outcome. And therefore, it's not that I don't care, it's that either way, it's a good outcome in my head. And it's not being, I've said this before, it's not being positive. For me, it's sort of realistic that it's realistic because of the evidence that I have of other experiences not going my way. You get enough of those, and then you look back at where you are now, and you say, well, they did go my way. Everything happened exactly how it should happen, and exactly how I wanted it to happen. Now, in the moment, yeah, you're upset, you're sad, you're angry, or you're frustrated. But you look at who you are now, who does it make you? Because that's not temporary, that's for life. Who you are is for life, it carries on. Now, you do change, yeah, but, let's say I become a professional footballer. It's not for life, but who I am is for life. And yeah, I understand that even those situations wouldn't be perfect, and you would learn other things about yourself in those situations. I understand that, but whatever I'm going to learn there, I feel I feel like I've learned now, or if not, I still have the potential to learn those things. It's not over. Just because a decision didn't go your way, it's not over. And I think that's what keep going means to me. Keep going is, it's not just be resilient and keep going, just keep doing, drone on like a robot. It's like, no, keep going. You don't realize, you don't see the full picture at the moment. So you've got to keep going, because what happens if you stopped now? Imagine where you could be if you carried on going. Um, that's what I think about these videos as well, I guess. I can see that this is a pinnacle moment in my life. Yeah, it's something so simple and something that's literally going to happen every day, or it's little moments every so often or every day, multiple times a week, multiple times a month, that then sort of set you up for a change in life, or set you up for different characteristics of yourself. Like the ayahuasca that I took, and I know I probably keep referring to this ayahuasca, and I'm not actually filmed at this moment in time, not actually filmed anything and said about that experience and talked through it, but which I will do. But that's another pinnacle moment in my life. It's like, if I didn't go and do that, where would I be then? But I like where I am now. I love where I am now. So, my point is, don't necessarily worry or stress so much about something when it doesn't go your way, when when it's not perfectly how you imagine it, because you don't know how it's going to turn out. You don't know what other benefits you're going to get from it. Now, don't get me wrong. You can still feel the pain of failing or not getting what you want, or the dream that you wanted and it doesn't happen. You can still feel all that. But my point is, don't sit there and sit in it for a very long time. You know what I mean? By a very long time, I'm talking years and months. A couple of months, yeah, maybe, depending on what it is. But just realise that you got to keep going. That's sort of what my mindset's like. And like I said, I woke up this morning purely with those thoughts just in my mind from dreams that I've had, that I just had last night, of perfect scenarios and situations that maybe I missed out on, or that I could have had, and how they made me feel. You know, you sat there, I'm sat there in my dream, waking up and thinking, I want to go back into that dream. That was a pretty perfect dream. It feels so good. You know, I'm dreaming about getting what I wanted when I was younger, and scenarios, situations where things are sort of perfect. But then, you know, I snap myself out of it and I'm like, yeah, but that's not what you wanted, because you don't, you're not seeing the full picture. You're not seeing what else you're missing out on once you get that. And I know I've listened to a few people say that about um, jealousy and role models, and looking at these people and saying, oh, I wish I had his life. Um, I think the example I've heard is everyone wants to have Elon Musk's life. He's the richest man in the world, and how great would that be? You got all this success, but what you're not taking into consideration is the negatives that someone has in life, and also what they've been through. You can't just have that. You can't just have all that success without going through some struggle and stress. That's the same with jealousy. You know, some people are jealous about other people's situation, but they're only seeing the good. They're only seeing, oh, I want that. And that's what I guess social media does. When you see these perfect posts, is you're not actually realizing what it took to get there, to get to that situation. And do you want to go for it? And I know Chris Williamson has said, he heard someone say, you know, choose your pain in your life. Which pain do you want in your life? And think about and what I took from that is, you know, think about what do you want in life, and are you prepared to also have the suffering that comes with that? Because if you are, then that's your dream, that's your goal, you can achieve that. But if you just want the perfection, if I'm doing this and I just want the money and let's say the fame and the feeling of success, you know, that's false. That's not going to happen. Um, you know, that's not going to happen that perfectly. You got to understand there's a bigger picture, and you got to take both. Like, I've got to take the fact that I'm going to be criticized, or the fact that I'm going to embarrass myself. You know, there's all these sort of factors that go along with that you probably you don't imagine when you're dreaming. You don't think about the negative stuff that's going to happen. But yeah, I'm at work now, so peace.